If you've been scrolling through endless drone listings, watching side-by-side videos, and still feel like you might end up with something that looks great on paper but falls short when you actually launch it, this review is here to cut through the noise. I've spent the past few weeks flying the Antigravity A1 Infinity bundle in a park, on a rooftop, and even on a beach day with friends, just to see how it behaves when you really need it. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. Let's walk through what you'll experience in real life, where the money is really going, and whether this particular drone is worth the hype for you. First off, the biggest question most people have is, do I really need 8K 360 video? If you're a casual hobbyist who just wants a few smooth clips of your backyard barbecue, you could be overpaying. But if you're thinking about creating immersive travel vlogs, real estate tours that let viewers look around, or you're a content creator who wants that next-level visual punch without hiring a cinematographer, the A1 Infinity's 8K 360 camera becomes a genuine asset. In practice, the camera captures a full sphere of detail, and when you stitch the footage in the Antigravity app, the result feels like you're actually there. The difference is noticeable when you compare a flat 4K shot of a city skyline to an 8K 360 sweep that lets the viewer glance left or right at will. The resolution holds up well enough that you can still extract a 2K frame for a thumbnail without it looking soft. Now, let's talk about flight time. The bundle comes with 3 high-capacity batteries, each promising roughly 30 minutes of airtime under ideal conditions. In my tests, the first battery gave me just under 28 minutes when I kept the drone in a steady hover and flew a smooth circular path. The second battery, after a quick swap, delivered about 26 minutes, and the third fell a couple of minutes short, which is typical as you cycle through the pack. The real win here is the convenience of having 3 spares. You can keep flying for over an hour total without returning to a charger. That's a big practical advantage if you're shooting a multi-scene segment or need to cover a large outdoor event. Transmission range is another headline claim that often trips people up. The A1 Infinity advertises a 10 km link, but in everyday use that number is more about theoretic maximum than what you'll actually get in a city. In a suburban park with moderate Wi-Fi interference, I consistently got a clean signal out to about 1.5 kilometers, which is more than enough for most creative projects. When I pushed the drone beyond the line of sight, it started to lag a bit and the video feed pixelated, but the auto-return feature kicked in before any crash risk materialized. So, while you won't be flying it across state lines, the advertised range does give you a generous safety buffer for most recreational and semi-professional shoots. Obstacle avoidance is a feature that separates a novice-friendly drone from one that can be a liability. The A1 Infinity uses forward-facing sensors and a bottom-looking unit to detect obstacles up to about 2 meters away. In practical terms, that means you can fly near trees, fence lines, or indoor beams and the drone will automatically nudge away or hover while you adjust your path. I did a quick test by flying it through a narrow alleyway with a low-hanging sign. The drone sensed the sign and slowed down, giving me enough time to steer. It isn't a full 360 shield if you push it directly into a wall from the side. It won't stop, but for most casual pilots it adds a comfortable safety net. Deep track and point-of-fly motion control are the kind of smart modes that sound impressive until you try them. Deep track lets the drone lock onto a moving subject like a runner or a dog and keep it centered while you focus on framing. In a real-world run through a park, the drone kept the subject in view, but there was a slight wobble whenever the runner turned sharply. It's not studio-grade, but it does a solid job for a single-person shoot where you don't have a dedicated gimbal operator. Point-of-fly works by letting you tap a spot on the map in the companion app, and the drone flies there autonomously. The navigation was reliable in open spaces. It struggled a bit when the GPS signal was weak under dense tree cover, causing the drone to hover briefly before correcting its path. Auto edit is a neat finishing touch. After you land, the app offers to stitch together a highlight reel of your best clips, add transitions, and even sync background music. The algorithm is simple. It pulls the most stable, well-exposed segments and builds a 30-second video. It's handy if you need a quick social media post, but power users will likely prefer to do their own post-production for finer control. The auto edit works well enough that you can share a polished clip within minutes, which is a time saver for